So here I am just discussing about the classification of the kingdom protista. Here you can see on the first specific habitat, you can see there is a freshwater. They can be present in freshwater habitat as well as in the marine water. Second, these phytophyte dinoflagellate organisms are commonly found in marine water. Okay, they cannot be found in the freshwater. In case of euglenoid, if you see, they can be available in the freshwater as well as in the stagnant water in both places. Slime molds are commonly found in shady and damp places. Okay, and next, protozoan organisms can be available in the freshwater as well as in the brackish water, like the amoeba, paramecium. They can be present in freshwater as well as in the brackish water. Second point is nutrition. If you talk about the nutrition, obviously I have told initially they are mostly autotrophic, heterotrophic or mixotrophic. So here autotrophic or heterotrophic mode of nutrition or mixed type of nutrition you can see in case of these specific golden algae organisms. Dinoflagellates, in case of those autotrophic, heterotrophic and mixed, these three kinds of nutrition you can see. Specifically in case of euglenoids, same kind of nutrition can be found, that is autotrophic, heterotrophic. Normally autotrophic during the daytime when the sunlight is present, and heterotrophic during the night time when the sunlight is totally absent. Next, slime mold, specifically you can see they have commonly saprophytic mode of nutrition because they are like fungi or they are like mushroom. So obviously they are obtaining their nourishment from the dead organism or dead organic materials. Protozoan organisms are showing parasitic and holozoic mode of nutrition. Parasitic means they are causing various diseases to various other organisms, as well as they are holozoic because they can engulf solid food particles as well as liquid food particles entirely, and they can digest that. So for that reason they can be holozoic also, according to based on the mode of nutrition. If you go for the third point, that is locomotory organ. If you consider the locomotory organ, here you can see the locomotory organs are commonly in case of golden algae or diatom that is totally absent. Flagella is totally absent. So for that reason they are showing the type of movement that is gliding movement. If you go for the dinoflagellates, flagella can be present or sometimes they can be absent also. Sometimes even two flagella are present. One is present along the longitudinal furrow, another one is present along the transverse furrow. Furrow means actually, if you see their body structure, along their longitudinal length there is a small groove-like structure, and from that groove the flagella is projecting out. And according to their body, transversely also furrow is present, and from that specific furrow also the flagella will be projecting towards outward. Okay. Next you can see in case of euglenoid, flagella there are two flagella are present. One is long, another one is short. So these specific organisms are containing two flagella, one is long, another one is short. Slime mold, in case of them no flagella is present, they have only pseudopodia for their locomotory structure. Next, protozoa. In case of protozoa, you can see they have cilia, flagella, pseudopodia, this specific type of locomotory organ. That means they can move by the help of cilia, and on that time the movement will be commonly known as ciliary movement. They can move by the help of flagella, that means they can move obviously by the flagellar movement. And pseudopodia, that means they can move also by the pseudopodial movement. And sometimes in case of few of the organisms, not a single locomotory organ is present. Like that organism is also there under protozoa. Cell wall. If you see the cell wall structure, specifically in case of golden algae, the cell wall is present, and that specific cell wall is made up of cellulose and silica. Cellulose and silica is actually the constituents of the cell wall present in golden algae or diatom. Another very important feature for the diatom is they have two body coverings. One is the upper one, another one is the lower one. Upper body covering is commonly known as epitheca, and lower body covering is commonly known as hypotheca. So these two types of the body coverings can be present in case of these golden algae or diatom organisms, that is upper one epitheca and lower one hypotheca. Second, in case of dinoflagellates, cell wall present, and that is only made up of cellulose, nothing else. If you see the euglenoid organisms, they don't have the cell wall, so that's why it is written absent, and they have a special kind of cell wall that is commonly known as pellicle. So the true cell wall is totally absent in case of euglenoid. They have a body covering that is commonly known as pellicle. Next, slime mold. If you see the slime mold, they are also lacking the cell wall, and they are secreting slime or mucilaginous substances, which is actually protecting them from any kind of predator as well as for movement. And the next and the last one, in case of protozoa, this specific type of cell wall is totally absent. They only have the plasma membrane, and according to that, due to the presence of the only plasma membrane, they are doing the activities by that only. If you go for the pigments, you will see that in case of specifically golden algae or diatom, they have chlorophyll, they have xanthophyll, as well as they have diatomine. Due to are golden in color. Okay. Second, dinoflagellate. If you will see dinoflagellates, you will be seeing various color of dinoflagellates like the red dinoflagellate, blue, yellow, green, brown, various colorful dinoflagellates you can see. And why they are showing so many colors? Because due to presence of chlorophyll as well as fucoxanthin. This fucoxanthin is actually showing multiple colors. So for that reason, dinoflagellates are showing multiple colors. Euglenoids are commonly containing chlorophyll, beta carotene and xanthophyll, these specific pigments, and for that reason they are showing green color, brown color, orange color, these specific colors. Slime mold, they are totally colorless because they are not containing any pigment. And the last one, if you see protozoa, they are also fully colorless because they are not having any pigment within them. Coming for the last point, that is the special feature for each and every class or for each and every category. What are the special features? First one, that is this specific type of slime, diatom or golden algae, they can be called as pollution indicator. That means in which specific fresh water or marine water they will be present. How much pollution is present in that water is how much polluted, that is measured by this specific diatom or golden algae. So that's why they can be used as pollution indicator like lichen. And the second important point is diatomaceous earth. What is that? When the diatom organisms or the golden algae will be getting dyed, after that what is happening to their body covering? That epitheca and hypotheca, that means those body coverings are commonly they are getting mixed with the soil. Okay, so according to the coastal area of the marine or according to the along the coastal area of the freshwater aquatic body, you will be seeing so many those epitheca and hypotheca. Those are actually looking like the case of soap case. So those specific type of soap case like structures are distributed throughout the coastal area of any kind of aquatic body. So due to presence of those specific type of soap case like structure along the coastal area of any aquatic body, that is commonly known as, that specific phenomenon is commonly known as diatomaceous earth. Next, you can see in case of dinoflagellate, they can be poisonous. Okay, they are generally stinging. They are introducing poisonous substances within the body of other organisms. They can be phosphorescent also. That means they can emit light. So during the night time, you can even see dinoflagellates due to emission of the light. And the last one, that is the red tide. What is red tide? Specifically, dinoflagellates are showing red color. So Goniolax is one example of the dinoflagellate who has red pigment within them, and due to presence of the red color, when they are actually present in any specific water body like that Red Sea, so their water color is totally red due to presence of those dinoflagellate, red colored dinoflagellate, that is Goniolax. Euglenoid, if you see, they have a specific eye spot like structure from where the flagellars are projecting out, and those eye spots are commonly known as astaxanthin. Astaxanthin is the eye spots from where the flagella are projecting out. Slime mold, if you see, throughout the life cycle there are two phases. One is vegetative phase, another one is reproductive phase. In the vegetative phase, they are showing thallus-like body structure. Keep it in your mind, during the vegetative phase they are showing thallus-like body structure, as well as they are showing multinucleated mass which is containing also the protoplasm. Again I am repeating, in the vegetative phase they are showing multinucleated mass which is containing protoplasm. So that specific structure is commonly known as plasmodium. So that mass of multinucleated cytoplasm or protoplasm, that is known as plasmodium. As well as they are also showing the reproductive phase normally. And the last one for the protozoa, special features means their classification we will be discussing. Specifically, these protozoan organisms are classified based on the presence as well as absence of the locomotory organ, or which kind of locomotory organ present or absent based on that. So we can see here the protozoan organisms are segregated into 4 different categories. First one ciliated, second one flagellated, third one amoeboid, and fourth one sporozoa. So first one ciliated protozoa. Ciliated protozoa means those specific type of protozoan organisms who are containing cilia as a locomotory organ. Cilia is present throughout the entire body surface, and that is helping the organism by continuous movement of those cilia. That organism is just moving from one place to the next place. So those organisms are containing cilia are commonly known as ciliated protozoan organism. As an example, paramecium is a ciliated protozoan organism. Keep it in your mind. Second one, flagellated. Flagellated means those organisms are containing flagella, maybe towards the apical portion or towards the terminal end or the rearing end. So that's why due to presence of the flagella, they are showing the flagellar movement. As an example, trypanosoma, that is such kind of protozoan organism which is moving from one place to another place by the help of flagella. So these are commonly known as flagellated protozoa. Third one, amoeboid protozoa. That means this kind of protozoan organisms are amoeba. They don't have a proper body shape. They are always showing the sol gel theory, or their body is always sol-like, and they have pseudopodial processes for their locomotion. So that specific organisms who are showing pseudopodia as their locomotory organ, and they don't have a proper body shape even, those organisms are coming under the amoeboid category. An amoeboid protozoa. And the last one, sporozoa. Sporozoa means these specific type of protozoan organisms are having spore product producing capability, and by producing the spores they are making the next generation of springs. And specifically, if you see this specific type of organisms, they don't have any kind of locomotory organ. So for that reason, sporozoan organisms are exclusively for producing the spores for to survive by the next generation after generation. Example, entamoeba, example, plasmodium, disease causing pathogen. These are all sporozoid or sporozoa organisms. So here, this is the total classification with the special features of each and every class of kingdom protista. Just I am recapitulating once for you. First one, that is the mode of nutrition. You can see here in the mode of nutrition you can see there is the three modes of nutrition, that is autotrophic, heterotrophic and mixotrophic. Autotrophic means who are getting the nutrition, they are not specifically they are not getting the nutrition, they are making their food itself by the help of sunlight or by the help of chemical substances. Heterotrophic mode of nutrition, they are obtaining the food from others, that's why they are heterotrophic mode of nutrition showing organisms. Next, mixotrophic mode of nutrition. Mixotrophic mode of nutrition is such kind of nutrition where both of the nutrition, autotrophic and heterotrophic, both nutritions you can see. Next, in case of reproduction, you can see mostly they are asexually reproducing organisms. They can't perform the sexual mode of reproduction. And asexually also they can perform two different modes. One is by the forming spores as well as by binary fission mechanism. These two procedures are helping them for further producing next generation offsprings. Excretion is commonly done by contractile vacuole, that is a special structure present in them. Them means specifically amoeba and paramecium. So this contractile vacuole has another function also to retain the osmolarity, that means the osmotic concentration of our body fluid. Next, respiration. Respiration is such kind of process which is commonly done by the diffusion mechanism, and for that also gas vacuole is there for temporary storage of the gaseous substances, and from there the gaseous substances will be distributed throughout the body by the process of diffusion. Locomotory organs, cilia, flagella and pseudopodia, these three kinds of locomotory organs can be present, or few of the organisms are present without any locomotory organs, so for them that is totally absent. After that, I have discussed about the 5 different classes. The kingdom protista is differentiated into 5 different classes. First one, chrysophyta or diatom or golden algae. Second one, pyrophyta or dinoflagellate. Third one, euglenoid. Fourth one, slime mold. And fifth one, protozoa. And according to the features, habitat, nutrition, locomotory organs, cell wall, pigments and special features, we have just categorized them into various categories. Here I am just repeating the last point again because those are the special features. We have to remember properly that in case of golden algae or diatom, they are pollution indicator. When the diatom organisms are dying, their body covering, that is epitheca and hypotheca, which is looking like a soap case, those are deposited throughout the coastal area of the marine environment or other freshwater environment, and that is commonly known as diatomaceous earth. Next, in case of dinoflagellate organism, they are poisonous. They can emit even light, so that's why they are now commonly known as phosphorescent. And as an example, Boniolus is such kind of dinoflagellate which is red in color, and due to presence of Boniolus in a marine environment or in the marine water, that red tide can be found. That means when the water of the ocean is coming towards the coastal region in the form of tide, on that time you can see the entire water is reddish in color due to presence of these dinoflagellates, Boniolus. Euglenoids have a specific type of eye spot that is commonly known as astaxanthin, and from there the flagellar structures are just erupting. Slime mold, if you see the vegetative phase, they are showing the plasmodium like structure, that is the mass of multinucleated protoplasmic mass, and also they are showing the reproductive phase in their life cycle. And classification of protozoa, ciliated protozoa, that means those specific protozoan organism having cilia, so they are showing the ciliary movement, as an example paramecium. Flagellated protozoa, that means those protozoa who are having flagella as their locomotory organ, and they are showing the flagellar movement throughout their life. As an example, trypanosoma. Amoeboid protozoa, that means those specific protozoa protozoa who are amoeba-like or they are amorphous shaped body. They have pseudopodia as a locomotory organ. So those are all coming within the amoeboid category. That means commonly amoeba. And sporozoa, that means those amoeba and entamoeba both. And sporozoa specifically those specific type of protozoan organisms who are spore producing, and those spores are responsible for making the next generation of spring. As an example, Plasmodium, disease causing, malaria causing pathogen. So they are producing the spore. So I think the entire video, whatever I have taught here, you have understood, and I hope you have enjoyed this video a lot. Thank you everyone.